Welcome in, everybody! We're back on Infernal Shrines. Did you miss this map? Oh, 3 series with 3 Infernal Shrines maps. Let's get into it. On the left-hand side is going to be Team Sweden. On the right side is going to be Team Poland number 2. So this is going to be, guess what? The Meta Madness style of draft. The heroes that are picked and played are unavailable for future maps within the series. The 10 heroes that are picked and played. Bans don't carry over. There's no tournament restrictions. So all that good stuff. And let's go ahead and see what we have for Infernal Shrines, as I feel like I've finally woken up a bit. I was a bit groggy during that first best of 3 of the day. Definitely woke up during Team France, and now we're here. We got energy. We're ready to rock and roll. 3rd of 4 best of 3s, and thank you everyone for hanging out. I hope you're having a great day. Hope you're enjoying the stream. And if you're watching from the Blizzard headquarters, hey, you know, that email just any day now, right? You know, bahamutplaysgames@gmail.com is an easy way to get a hold of me for BlizzCon casting, because you know you don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out on amazing casting from someone that loves the game. Chromie Thrall, Maev, and Falstad have all been banned away. A snap pick onto Johanna for the members of Team Poland. And what do we have for Team Sweden lock-in here? What do they want to run at the beginning? So since we are in a new series, the players, or the heroes, are reset. So we've got all the 90 heroes available, but no Thrall. There could be an early Sylvanas for Team Sweden. I really don't hate an early Sylvanas on Infernal Shrines. Her Siege is really good. Possession, baseline is awesome. Our first Brightwing of the day is we apparently have, I didn't really realize this, apparently Sylvanas has a Lae'zel skin. With the Johanna, you've got Iron Skin. It looks like it's a Blaze. I feel like if you just go healer here, it's an easy lock-in, and then you can flex with your last 2 picks. You could consider...
I will fight to my last breath.
I was literally about to say you could consider Rhaegar, Deckard, or Ana here. All of them would be really good into the Brightwing. Rhaegar at level 7 can go into the Purification, which will give a healing debuff to the enemies that are hit with Purge. So that would deny the Brightwing phase shift by 75%. You've got Sins Exposed level 7 for the Johanna as well. Deckard would have had his healing debuff at level 7. Ana has baseline healing debuff for 1.25 seconds at 100%, the highest healing debuff in the game, and can be increased to 2.5 seconds with the anti-healer level 7. So a lot of really good value. I wonder if we'll see Purification 7 for the Rhaegar. Grounded Totem is the common pickup. Let's see here, though. Hanzo has been banned by Team Sweden. We'll see Poland getting rid of what? Maybe a main tank? They'll get rid of Leoric. Okay. Leoric's been removed. So as Sylvanas Brightwing, you could definitely go dive comp. You could also go into a Garrosh as well. Could consider a Junkrat Stitches here, and then get a last pick solo lane, like a Chen maybe? I could absolutely see Stitches, Junkrat, Chen as the last 3 picks. I think it would work out really good. Though there is Iron Skin, Bunker, so maybe not. No, maybe not. Tyrael, Malthael, possible last pick Sergeant Hammer? Possibly a last pick Sergeant Hammer. Could be a Gul'dan, realistically, which I really like for this map for wave clear. Could be Kael'thas, maybe a Jaina. She has been popping up a little bit more since she got the Ice Cold upgrade on her baseline. But these next 2 picks, I mean, I'd like to see some sort of mage and sustained damage dealer.
The wait is over.
Will not be denied.
I like it. I like it a lot for Poland, too. I think it's really good wave clear. I think they've got good mobility. They've got the blinds into Sylvanas and stuff. If the enemy does go Sergeant Hammer, they have a Valkyrie. They've got a Horrify. So there's a lot of really good Sergeant Hammer counter tools already picked up with the Cassia Gul'dan. Last pick, though... I mean, realistically, you could also go Kael'thas here. You could just pick up a standard Kael'thas and get, you know, your Mana Addict and stuff. Mephisto. Mephisto does get played here on Infernal Shrines. We haven't been seeing him a lot, so I'm excited to see him back in the mix. Like a good variety on that. But there's your 10 heroes, everybody. Get your gambles in. You got 5 minutes to get your predictions in, whether or not the members of Team Sweden take map number 1 in this 3rd best of 3 of the day, or will it be Team Poland 2? And as I've said throughout the day, thanks for hanging out, thanks for being here, and I appreciate you all for supporting the stream. I do want to mention, on March 31st, we have front page of Twitch, 6 years partner on Twitch, big celebration day. I'm going to try and get some Corsair stuff for you guys. We're going to have a sub badge thing as well, so a lot of fun stuff. Thanks for being here. Mark your calendars. a big chunky stream on Tuesday, March 31st. But here we are as we get into Infernal Shrines map number 1, our third best of 3 of the day.
Prepare yourselves for battle, heroes.
Alrighty, on the left-hand side, that's going to be Team Sweden. Make, Mephisto, Skog, Tyrael, Max Passion, Malthael, Burgult, Brightwing, and Azerite is your Sylvanas. Poland 2 on the right side, Spos on the Cassia, Bronik is your Rhaegar, Alvarez is going to be on the Gul'dan, Beerchew playing the Johanna, and Ridzu is your Blaze. As we do get a small pause at the beginning with a small DC, but it looks like that is not an issue. Gonna be having Adrenaline Stimpack, Echoed Corruption,
2, 1.
a Zealous Glare Johanna,
Let the battle begin.
Justice for All Tyrael, Unrelenting Torment Sylvanas, Hyper Shift for the Brightwing, Charge Strikes Cassia. Looking at your Unyielding Power for the Mephisto for the 40 stacks. Malthael. On a Pale Horse. Death's Reach has been the more popular level 1, and that's what it will be. More Fell Flames from Gul'dan poking onto the enemy. As he has a couple stacks on that Echo Corruption. First Punish will be frozen in the top lane. As we have camps on the left side and right have been started. Mephisto jumping into bottom to try and get a stack off of Rhaegar, and will be able to do so. This is going to be Azerite getting some assistance as well. We'll see what our level 4s are going to be in just a moment, what the future of these builds will unfold to be. It is going to be that bottom lane Impaler camp rotated into faster by the side of Team Poland. I don't think Azerite and friends will be able to counterplay this at all. Fend from Cassia on the way of the Fell Flame from Gul'dan. More Corruption stacks going out, already at 5. He does have the Mythic at the 85 stacks. Sylvanas also has her baseline Mythic at the 400, her first reward being at 250. No stacks lost upon death for either of these players. No Mythic or anything for Make, but I'm sure Saint Deb is cooking up something for another Mythic expansion. So Max Passion will be able to soak up top lane on this Malthael. Blaze will rotate in for the counter clear. Make kind of doing the same thing here up against the Cassian mid lane. Pretty simple siege early on. A little bit of siege onto the side of Team Sweden from Poland too, but this is all light siege, nothing really critical to be lost structurally. Skull Missile raining out. As your first objective is going to be announced still in about 20 seconds. So we still have Fallen Shaman on the right and left to be worked on. Condemned from Johanna. Huge damage from Gul'dan. Azerite is going to try and back away, but it's a Rhaegar taking down Brightwing. Cassia takes down Sylvanas. A double kill early on for Team Poland as they will siege into bottom lane Fort Gate a little bit. That timer's relatively low, but my gosh. What a play. Inspired Minion Wave active from Cassia getting a couple autos in. Center gate taken down, 2 walls will be removed, and the 2 towers remain. My god, what a play. Right side camp hasn't even been worked on. Left side is grabbed, the Fallen Shaman for top lane. Does look like, though, with 6 seconds remaining on the objective spawner, we do have Team Poland 2 going for their own camp. Sylvanas and Brightwing soaking bottom. 7 talent here getting close for both teams, but a little bit more experience on the right side from those earlier kills. Tyrael gonna get some smite on the ground, a little shielding as well. Johanna, Gul'dan are gonna be able to clear out the Fallen Shaman and Minion Wave. Malthael starting out the objective on the left-hand side. Now Druin Smite to be thrown in despite Mephisto level 4. You die alone, right, for the Malthael, for the Soul Rip deals 50% more damage to heroes if it only hits 1. A few more Fell Flames poke out here and there. Damage from Tyrael, another Fell Flame that's going to be minus healing onto a couple enemies with that Sins Exposed level 7. Frost Shade for Mephisto as well. Also have that Burning Halo, Critical Mist. With the Magic Spit 4 and 7 for Brightwing. Sylvanas is full Shadow Dagger build, which is pretty common, honestly. I'd say this is the most common build I see, but Haunting Arrow at level 4 has been picked up. Festering Wounds sometimes, but not always. This is going to be Poland 2 with the first Punisher of the map, and we'll see what this Frozen Punisher is able to do. The jump is available onto Tyrael. Gul'dan with immediate drain. Mephisto jumping out with Skull Missile activation. That's a lot of damage onto Alvarez, and Alvarez is not going to be saved. Gul'dan taken down. Team Sweden picking up their first kill. They're going to let the Punisher do its thing, and Mephisto actually clearing that. They want to chase in for a Beer Chew kill, but won't be able to get it.
Red team's Punisher has fallen.
All right, Punisher's over. We're looking at the next one at sub 8 minutes in-game time. It's going to be 7 minute 30-something, maybe close to 40. Twin Flames, Ignited Oil Slick, sorry. Twin Flames and autos onto the minion wave. Impaler Camp was grabbed by Ritsu, who's going to be able to get the Jet Propulsion away from Mephisto. But for those that don't know, the Frost Storm, sorry, not Frost Shade, Frost Storm. Well, Shade of Mephisto's active enemy heroes who are hit by Lightning Nova are slowed by 15% for 1 second, and the slow from Skull Missile is increased to 50%. The 10 talent user here, and I'm sure you guys want to see some stats, as the Border Punisher will be that mid lane next summoning. And we have the Impaler Camp getting some decent damage in here. That's going to be a ton of damage. Bless Shield from Johanna, Horrify from Gul'dan. And Mephisto is the takedown here. A few Fel Flames onto this minion wave of mid, as well as the Impaler Camp. And let's see, Endurance of Hate, Last Right, Sanctification, Blink Heal for the Brightwing as she just burns a charge in top lane to back away from Blaze, I believe. Ball Lightning, Ancestral, Horrify, Bless Shield, and the Bunker for Blaze, as it looks like one of the casters, unfortunately, is going to DC, but hopefully they'll be able to make it back in. Blood Gandalf, a wonderful human. Alvarez with a few Fel Flames. I didn't look at his level 7 if he went into cooldown for his corruption here. Ancestral will connect. I believe actually the level 7 is that Power Hungry, which is the minus 25 healing. So that's, he probably did not go into the yeah, he did go for the Hunger for Power, so it is the Bound by Shadow. I don't know why, I always want to say Bound by Corruption, because I, cooldown reduction for your corruption stacks. But either way, we are going to be seeing that Hunger for Power at level 7, rather than the Unbound Shadow. Good Jet Propulsion to follow up. A little Oil Slick on to scope here. Mephisto Make jumping in, 13 missile stacks for him on the Unyielding Powers. We do have a Blessed Shield, Horrify once again. Jet Propulsion is good, and Team Poland number 2 may be able to take down Make, but Sesibos is unable to do enough damage. A Mind Control misses.
A shrine gathers power.
And that'll be the center shrine available in 23. Man, oh man. Got some great gambles going on today. Thank you everyone for participating. Hopefully you are having a wonderful Saturday. And the games are quite enjoyable. Propulsion to the right-hand side as Blaze looks to back off. We do have Brightwing in bottom lane currently soaking up for the allies. Hyper Shift should be available. 13 talents here booming for both, but faster to the side of Team Poland 2 as some corruption stacks go out for Gul'dan, up to 24. A Fen from Cassia. Max Passion will get the Face Shift from Burgle. Fel Flames poking here and there. Jet Propulsion into Ball Lightning. Pyromania's active Sanctification to mitigate some of this damage. It is 20-7 in Skeletal Defenders, favoring the side of Poland 2. Some well taps to be had, and now this is an advance into the objective pit once again from Poland. Endurance of 8 finds a connection onto 1. The Bunker comes down from Blaze. Humongous Horrify from Gul'dan as it is your Malthael to be taken down. Mephisto looks to back away. Tyrael up in top lane. This is going to be a Johanna Shield Glare. They're going to go ahead and try and save their fallen shaman in top. It's so very low. And Team's possibility to actually save this right now. But let's get back into the mid lane because the Punisher is going to be pushing in. Gul'dan heads to bottom up against the right wing. He gets another stack on the Corruption, as I did see. Sylvanas using the Corridor and the Haunting Wave to jump over the wall safely. Punisher, speaking of jumping, will land into the Keep Gate, but it does look like Blaze has the minion wave push up into the top fort. And this will also be taken down. Alright, next Punisher at 12 minute 24. Or I guess you could say 11 minute 50. However you want to look at it. Smite onto the ground. Johanna's got vision for the team. Will they invade this? It looks like yes. Tyrael throws the Eldrune Smite down. He does have Holy Ground level 13. Manages to successfully grab the camp for the allies. Mephisto shading in. Skull Missile landing on Ridzu. Who then will get a Chain Heal. Ignited Oil Slick for some self-healing. And that top lane Punisher coming up next. Now let's take a look here. Keep Gate in top lane. Completely healthy. Right side fort has lost the center gate. Tower low. Get back into double soak between the two teams. Oh, big damage on the Skog here. No Sanctification for 7. Horrify from Gul'dan pushes Sylvanas down. Endurance of 8, sidestep by Bronick, who's gonna self-cast the Ancestral. Now Make in a bad position as they're gonna shade out once again, but Rhaegar lunges in for the bite on the floating skeleton. How fitting. Burgle is going to take a few more hits from Gul'dan, up to 29 stacks. That 40 mark is what they're looking for the Corruption Strikes returning in the opposite direction. And then Malthael, Sylvanas, maybe you're going to try and play into Ridzu or dive onto them, but the Jet Propulsion south side from Blaze will allow them to back off just fine. And about a minute till the objective announcement, so right now we're going to be seeing a Impaler cleared out of mid. Gul'dan and friends, there's no... Oh, they camp actually in 20 seconds. Will they be able to get Malthael here? Bless Shield down for 6 for the hard initiation. And Beerchu's going to set up in the camp. Or sorry, in the bush. Boast to do the same. 6-1 in kills. Team Poland coming out swinging in map number 1 up against Sweden in our third best of 3 of the day. Alvarez is going to get chunked. Make tanks a Corruption hit. 6 on Horrify, 30 on Ancestral, 2 stacks of Blink Heal. Those are really the only things to mention. Everything else is off of cooldown. Malthael needs 2 more stacks on Unyielding Power. Did go into his Horrid Skull, as well as the Lightning Reaction at level 13-16. Jet Propulsion aside from Ridzu to back away. Alrighty. So... It's going to be Bruiser Camp right side to be grabbed. Johanna with a trade between them and Tyrael. Just going to trade damage right there real quickly. The Mephisto level 1 is done. He has another charge on Skull Missile, which is really good with that Horrid Skull value, since Nick is hero Skull Missile grants 25% spell power for 6 seconds. So now you have the second charge, and you have that additional damage as well. Ridzu getting low. Fell Flames from Gul'dan coming up. Ball Lightning out from the Cassia. Looks like it's going to get a few bounces here and there. Max Bash low. Corruption from Gul'dan jumping up to 34 marks or strikes. 11-3 in Skeletal Defenders. Bottom and mid lane will push out against the side of Sweden faster with those catapults in lane. The Endurance of 8 misses. Bunker was used. There's a Flesh Shield to follow up after the Sanctification. The Horrify from Gul'dan. Skog is the target. The Rhaegar lunges in once again and takes the kill. Make needing to back off, gets the patient from right wing. Alvarez almost taken down by the trait. The last rites is countered by an Ancestral into Ridzu. And it does seem like Poland, too, have another objective in their belts, under their belts. They got a small amount of damage on the Keep Gate earlier, but it's 7-1 in kills. It's looking real rough for the members of Sweden in this map number 1. Poland coming out strong here as they may look to invade this camp. And they will. Now, leaving Blaze, obviously, to the objective is going to give little bit of death timer reduction over the material, since it's going to take the objective a little bit longer. But these invades on the camp are really good. It's good, a chunk of experience, obviously taking away the enemy pressure during your Punisher phasing, and adding some pressure into a lane and pulling macro control away from Sweden. The map is nearly painted red. Only one camp is not in control of Poland 2. Blaze just needs a Twin Flame onto this one duder. Looks like yeah, he's got 39. He can throw a Twin Flame in. Gul'dan wants to push the bottom. I think they're going to try and get 20 and make this a GG push. I don't blame them at all. But now Sylvanas, Skog, and Max Passion, they're all going to try and dive onto Blaze. The face from Brightwing. He activates the Punisher. The ally team is rotating up, and that 20 talent is not far off. Gonna be able to get off the wave, or even the Tyrael kill right here. 54, 53, 52, down to 41 with that trade. Over 10-second death timer reduction. Azerite gets the Haunting Wave. The shield glare is almost enough to take down Azerite. The Horfire from Gul'dan will be utilized. Brightwing falls. The siege is looking good. The death timers are pretty long. I mean, 50 seconds for the Brightwing. Tyrael obviously cheating death by about 10. Mephisto is going to be able to get a little bit of poke here and there. There should be a Punisher jump. I don't think we've had one yet, but there's no aggro poked at from side of Team Sweden. Lens for Max Passion as they were anticipating the Punisher jump at the inevitable end. There's the jump on a Mephisto, who will be able to return to his origin location. Max Passion trying to pull the Punisher into mid, and it looks like the Punisher does not bite. It does take some keep shots. Shielding is dropping. Gul'dan does have his strikes in reverse with the Echoed Corruption first milestone completed. And Team Poland's going for it. They have the Farseer's Blessing. Big splash shield to some allies around. Mind Control goes out from Sylvanas. 78% on the core with some damage over time. Bronick will fall. Beardshoot, the next one to go down. And I do believe with the inevitable end cleanse, this is going to be Blaze to fall next while Cassia and Gul'dan are able to back off. Blaze gets mounted. Is he out of here? I don't think Ridzu lives. Last rights is available, no bunker. Bye-bye. Meanwhile, all the way in the bottom, we are going to be seeing your Impaler camp that was grabbed before the objective with the catapults that are pushing up. Open up the keep gate. Next Punisher, I'd venture, I guess, at 18:30 in game time. Frozen Punisher mid lane. With the small window created by Team Sweden, this is going to be Fort Gate taken down. No haunting arrows from Sylvanas. Gul'dan damage, humongous right there, up to 48 of the 85 stacks on that Mythic. And Burgle will be able to get a phase shift on to Sylvanas, who's going to open up the sidewall here. 221 stacks for her. Mephisto takes out the other sidewall as well. Visible Friends level 20, the Mind Control does not land. That's going to be Alvarez, going to drain. Mephisto Skull Missile misses. What? Alvarez lives? And Sylvanas is 2 stacks away from the increased damage by 50% with her black arrows. Massive top lane wave stacked up here. 3 katas on core at 17.5 minutes. There should be a recall. It looks like Brightwing will come and take care of these. Polymorph 1, try and pull aggro. Shielding may get scratched, but I don't think we're going to be seeing a loss of health on the core of Team Sweden here. Poland playing really well, but Sweden with some late game fights. Holy Arena, Mimic, Invisible Friends. You do have your Withering Barrage with the Evasive Fire, as well as the Remorseless, right? Yeah, Remorseless. Malthius holding 20. Is he? He's probably buyback, right? What's dead may never die.
Another shrine will be ready soon.
Fair. Oh, even Talontiers. Oh, we didn't mention the Rockstopper for, sorry, Titan's Revenge for Cassia. I always mix up those two. And I know Rockstopper's blue. But I always mix them up for some weird reason. Titan's Revenge for your Cassia base attacks now ignore armor, and while avoidance is fully charged, they deal an additional 20% bonus damage. Not 200, that'd be insane. So let's get into it. Malthiel's still holding. Sylvanas needs 2 stacks to be able to get that damage increase, and she should get it during this engagement. 4 to 6. In defenders already. Fallen Shamans clashing in top. Birchu a little bit low. The mind control finds Blaze. He'll get cleansed by Rhaegar. A holy ground from Tyrael trying to block. Flesh shield goes out, bouncing onto many with the radiating faith level 20. Max bashing in with the ball lightning. This is going to be Azerite tanking that ball lightning as well. The ancestral Farseer's blessing helping out a ton. The Lacerites will not take down Bronek, who is going to fall. Wait, what? No, Gul'dan takes down Malthael. He does activate the buyback, and he's going to be rotating in, but that's Mephisto to go down next. Azerite and Skog. Burgult as well. They're going to re-engage. They're going to go for this fight down the Mephisto, but that's going to be Tyrael, the next to be picked off. Death timer from 61 to 48. But this is top lane pushing in with Katas. Those will be dealt with, but this Frozen Punisher mid lane, Keep is exposed. This could be a fatal push against the side, or a fatal push against Sweden.
Red team has summoned a Frozen Punisher.
So mid lane, Keep is going to be taken down. Punisher, that's a nice inevitable end from the Malthael. Facial from Brightwing, that's a ton of damage with the Echoed Corruption. Ruinous Affliction. 78-second death timer for the Malthael. Top lane wave is crashing, and Team Poland number 2 looking extremely strong in map number 1 of this third best of 3. There's going to be a ton of damage. Horrify from Gul'dan onto the Mephisto. The Jet Propulsion misses. Mephisto getting back to his origin location, but it's going to be Johanna on core with Punisher. Sylvanas will be able to take down the Cassia. Punisher is going to jump in the wrong direction, but Johanna had the autos needed, and GG, well played. Poland 2 takes map number 1. Imagine if Probius had the ability to recall teammates like in StarCraft 2. I feel like that was probably something that the developers attempted, and they were like, wow, this could be like Giga Troll. Oh, you're in the middle of a team fight, and I want to troll my team, and I recall all of us to a different location, and we lose structures? Yeah, nah. Just like, you remember the early iterations of Ragnaros Molten Core, where the idea was that you could actually Molten Nexus and move the Nexus around? Yep. Imagine you're defending against a Punisher, and your Probius warps you to the wrong side of the map. Welcome in, my friends. Thank you all for joining me as we get into map number 2 of this best of 3 series. Third best of 3 of the day. We have 4 best of 3s. Up next, as I mentioned, is going to be Team France versus Netherlands, and we'll see if that is going to be happening if Poland can find the 2-0 victory. The 10 heroes that were played on map number 1 of Infernal Shrines will not be available for this map 2 draft. Bans, of course, don't carry over, but it looks like they technically are, as we have another Thrall ban, another Chromie ban, and we'll see what else we're going to be removing here from the side of Sweden, and what Poland might want to pull out here for this next game. Deathwing to be removed as well. Not too surprising on the Deathwing ban. He has been seeing a lot of map 2 play, and map 3 as well. I feel like I don't see him much in map 1s in these series, but he's been more target banned and stuff in map 2. I actually, you know what? I think he was target banned in map number 1 by the side of Poland too, if actually memory serves right. Let me go ahead and start the prediction. Sorry about that. Forgot to push the button. What are we gonna get rid of? A main tank or something? Get rid of my Ev. Okay. But still, like, Garrosh. There's a menagerie of tanks available. If you want to start out with a first pick tank, they're gonna go for Urel, which has also been a very highly prioritized solo laner for this map. Really good mobility. Now, I do want to point out, Falstad is up. Could see a Q build Falstad, auto attack Falstad. On a 2-lane map feels a little rough, but it's doable. Abathur could be a consideration as well. I think Abathur wouldn't be too bad here.
The light abandons no man.
Hogger and Uther. So it could be main tank Uther. Could be just heal Uther. Could be variant with this as well, going into charge taunt with a Hammer of Justice for the stun. Hogger Shockwave as well. Urel. So we got a Vala pickup. It could be a hypercarry setup situation for Sweden as we get into the mid-ban phase. I could see an Ariel ban here from Poland. Ariel with the ETC Vala Urel wouldn't be too bad. Just a lot of really good control. You have Vala as a great battery for her Well of Hope. And this is why Blizzard should hire me. Tell all your Blizzard friends, hire that Bahamut guy. He's really good at Heroes, because he loves the game. He streams it all the time. And is passionate about the game. Yeah, anyways. Ariel was going to be your ban. What are we going to see here, though, on the left side? Is it going to be... Sometimes Uther Ana is a thing. That could be a direction. They're going to ban out Hammer again. Okay. I have a gut feeling it's not solo heal Uther. It's going to be a main tank Uther with some sort of other healer that has more utility for the team. Like the Anas I keep talking about. Sleep Dart, Debilitating Dart, Nano Boost, or I have Horus. Nano Boosted No Control Hogger with the level 20 Nano Infusion. So it is going to be Muradin. I guess technically you could take another healer. You could go Karazim. Block Totem against the Vala wouldn't be too bad, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be like some sort of auto attacker that has their own sort of sustain, possibly like a Raynor maybe. Raynor does have his way of self-healing with Raider's Roll, his E. Or sorry, Adrenaline, not Raider's Roll. That's 20. Tyrande thick, by the way. I mean, well, next to Genji, I guess. You know, the thin cyber ninja. Genji, Tyrande with ETC, Vala, Urel. So not a hyper carry situation. I don't hate it. I think it's pretty simple and standard. A lot of auto attack damage. I still like the Karazim. I just don't think it's gonna be that. I think it's gonna be something in the auto direction. Like, sorry, like a range assassin. Sorry, not auto direction, because Karazim's also autos. I do think the Karazim could have worked on the right side, though. But I don't see a lot of teams playing double healer very often. Good lockdown burst coming out from Poland. Lockdown sustained damage. Slight burst as well from Sweden. Let's get into it. Get your gambles in. Where are we going? Or sorry, who's going to be winning? Who's going to be winning map number 2 of this best of 3 series? Will it be a Poland 2-0 victory? Or will Sweden take us into a map number 3 and give us more great games than the best MOBA ever made? Thanks for hanging out with me. Welcome in, everyone. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Saturday, or if you're watching on YouTube, whatever day of the week it is. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. Help us grow the YouTube channel. We're getting closer and closer to 1,000 subs, which means more money for Bandit. Alrighty, let's get in. Sweden on the left-hand side. Skog ETC, Burgult Tyrande, Make Genji, Azerite Vala, and Max Passion Urel. Poland 2 on the right side, looking for the 2-0 victory. This is both going to be playing the Greymane, Ridzu on the Hogger, Alvarez, Li Ming, Bronick, Uther, and Birchu Muradin. We'll talk about level 1s, but the important thing to figure out here is going to be, I lost her for a second. Will Burgult land the first Sentinel from Tyrande? Let's find out here together. Indeed, Cat Peach. Good morning, bud. How you doing today?
1. Now go and summon my
First Sentinel hits. GG's. Wave of Light Uther, Aether Walker. You've got your On the Prowl for Hogger. Greymane with his viciousness. Dauntless Urel, Hungering Arrow with the Vala. It is going to be Agile Dismount, Movement Arrows, and ETC Block Party. As Max Passion is going to be heading into the top lane. I thought they were setting up for the Siege camp here, the Sapper camp. North side, Sappers grab. Now, we don't have any preview of the first objective until the 2-minute 30 mark in-game time. So here, they're just trying to guess and hope that this is the lane. They're grabbing Sappers for the lane that their golem is going to be pushing for some initial siege. And the locations are RNG, like Braxis. Like, there's no rhyme or reason as to if it's blue on the top every time or red on the top every time. It's just flip of a coin, and that's what it is. But Sappers for bottom find no value. Sappers on top are being pushed up by Ridzu, but Max Passion has got some decent clear on this with Avenging Wrath, a couple autos here and there, Vindication immediate activation as well. As we do have the Divine Purpose. My head, I always want to call it something else. Third win for the Muradin. I don't think I mentioned that. Now, let's talk about some mythic values. In case you are new or maybe missed it, or this is always good to, remind people. That way you guys all remember everything. But it's going to be your Lunar Blaze baseline for the Tyrande. And she gets 10 stacks with a 30% range increase with the Lunar Flare. 20 stacks is the Piercing Sentinel value. And at 40 stacks, the max, you will get what used to be the Shooting Star. Every 8th basic attack fires a Lunar Flare prioritizing heroes. Now, also, there was a nerf on the overall damage increase of Lunar Blaze, as it used to be 45 stacks. It used to be 5% or 4% per stack, so 20% was removed. It used to be 180, now down to 160. As in the most recent patch, there was a shift down for the Tyrande stackage. Muradin! I've said it before and I'll say it again. Not a happy camper with the It's Hammer time personally. You need to auto-attack enemy heroes who are afflicted by a slow or root for 1 stack. Stunned heroes grant 2 stacks. And at 160, you get a 100% range increase on your Storm Bolts. And at, with a 50% width increase. I did forget to mention you get the piercing value at the 40 with the 0.5 second per auto attack. And at the 160, once again, you pierce all targets hit. I'm going to be seeing your Thunderburn level 4, a very common pickup. Otherwise, level 4 is looking pretty standard. Hogger went on the prowl level 1 with Joggers at level 4. Stun. Onto the ETC as he power slides through. It is going to be Red Golem from Poland top, Blue Golem for the side of Sweden in the bottom lane. And these will be swapping every single objective phase, just like Braxis holdout as we mentioned beforehand. Another Impaler camp over here to be grabbed. As Hogger looks to bounce away, I think, from Urel in the mines, but it is going to be 14 to 26. Leading in favor of Poland 2 as they're going to get these smaller camps. There is effectively 72 Risen Miner Skulls on the smaller camps. They do vary. They always spawn the same amount in each of these camps, but because there's also always 28 on the Underworld boss in the center. Max Passion smacked up against the wall, and that's going to be First Blood in favor of Team Poland number 2. And they may just go for the remainder of these Risen Miner Skulls. Nope, they're going to go ahead and leave the Underworld boss for now and go for the 2 smaller camps. There is a Fallen Shaman in bottom lane that did get its charge in. Not Fallen Shaman, the Sappers. ETC power sliding through, the Lunar Flare connecting for the first stack on Lunar Blaze. Hogger using Easy Throw Dynamite to grab these last defenders over here. Trying to get to that 50 mark, and it's going to be at 49. As I mentioned, 28 remain. Power slide onto the Hogger on the right side. Genji, Make to 32 HP. Hogger will be taken down. Tyrande pressured by the Greymane, but this is going to be a disengage out from the right side. Greymane through the bottom. And there's a possibility that Team Sweden will be able to get the stronger Golem by 2. One, sorry. Math is hard. Well, I guess it's 2. Anyway, sorry. It's one of those days where you think you're right, then you doubt it. You're like, no, you had it, bud. Siege camp in the top center is going to go over to the side of Sweden for now, as we're working on this with 9 stacks on that puncturing arrow. Does go into the Monster Hunter at level 7 with the repeating arrow level 4. That Monster Hunter, by the way, is going to be the 150 additional damage to minions, mercenaries, and monsters. Monsters being considered the golems and the Underworld Risen Miners and Underworld Boss. Oh, Huntress Fury level 7 for the Tyrande. We've been seeing a lot of Rangers mark at 13 to combo into that with the Celestial Wrath at 20. Gildan Cocktail splashes onto Max Passion, who will be able to tap well and heal up a bit. It is that Hand of Protection from the Uther, by the way, so basic attacks reduce Hand of Protection cooldown by 5 seconds. 90 cooldown there as Hogger is going to start working on this Underworld boss, and if they get 2 of the Risen Minor Skulls, they'll have the overall stronger one. There's no buff to that, other than it looks bigger. And I guess, you know, scaling value. Slam goes down. And this is going to be a, what, 77 to 23 in top lane that still has most of its fort gate. Bottom lane Golem for the members of Sweden, though. There was that initial push, and things have been opened up a bit. Muradin, 17 baseline stacks. Uh-oh, Greymane top lane. Lunar Flare connects, Arcane Orb goes out. And that'll zone. Genji looking to jump in with Swift Strike and some shurikens, but is unable to find any purchase of damage onto this Greymane. Z mounts up. Hogger in bottom lane, working on those sappers, using Staggering Blow to create a bit more space. Hog Wild vertically through them. 2 or 3 autos will be enough. The Easy Throw Dynamite actually is just barely there. Let's go back into the top lane because this is going to be the bigger Golem by a significant amount. If you're curious about the stats, I got you covered. Huntress Mark, by the way, is that minus 15 armor for a moment. If you want to see the bottom lane Golem stats, there they are on the left side of your screen. Leave these up for a moment. As a fight breaks out in the center top location. Let's go ahead and actually jump back onto your top Golem as the bottom's already cleared away, and the value of the siege is pretty minimal for both. Bottom lane, the fort is down by about 40%. Top lane, fort gate is still sustained. Mosh Pit, Starfall, X-Strike, Strafe, Spinny Shooty Shot, as we also call it here for the Vala. And Ardent Defender Urel, a Hogger spins in. Luther gets onto the point. There's going to be a Starfall from Toronto, Shockwave from the Hogger. Loot Horde thrown in as well. The camp will be picked up by the members of Team Sweden. Divine Shield applied to Greymane. As Urel has the Avenging Wrath charged up. Hogger, uh-oh, that bounce looks bad for Ridzu. Staggering Blow won't be good enough. The Easy Throw Dynamite. Ridzu is definitely going to be taken down by Genji. And it is a bit of a haphazard bounce there. No camp stolen by Poland, as they also have the Avatar Curse Bullet, Wave of Force, Divine Shield, as we mentioned. So 2-1 in kills. As Muradin tries to get a bit more stackage onto the Genji here, up to 28. Still needs another 12 stacks for that piercing and cooldown value. You see Face Melt pushing people around. Did go into his, God, I'm blanking on so much today. I apologize, everyone. Loudspeakers with the Pinball Wizard. Might see the Might check at level 13. Could just be an Encore. Could be Face Smelt. I honestly, I see all 3 all the time now.
Are you prepared to fight?
And next Risen Miners are going to be coming through. Make is deleted. Lunar Flare from Toronto, I think, got a stun, but 6 stacks are not going to save the Genji there. Nicely done from Team Poland. Going to be able to clear out the bottom lane wave. Slight experience advantage, and let's take a look and see where that's forming. Minions is about 2k. Mercenaries is about 700. Structures by a little bit. Passive is about equal.
Gather skulls and empower your golem.
Alright, Greymane Uther head into the mines. Looking for the Risen Minor Skulls. Going to be going into the northeast side as they entered in through the south side entrance. Muradin's here as well. Might be here mostly to harass. He's just going to try and find more stackage. Li Ming Arcane Orb is good. As the Lunar Flare misses, the Sentinel. That's going to be an Avatar turnaround onto the Genji. Thunderclap goes down to the ground as well. Shockwave from Hogger onto the Vala on the north side of the screen. We might have just barely missed that. The Wave of Force from Li Ming. Greymane lunging to the backline. Alvarez is very low. The extra from Genji. There's going to be a Divine Shield applied. Stun from Uther. Arcane Orb misses. Deflect from Genji. And there's going to be a Lunar Flare that lands onto the face of this Li Ming, who is advancing forward. Swift Strike from Genji. The Staggering Blow's a little late. That's going to be a Razor Swipe from Greymane into Urel as the Face Melt interrupts Uther for a moment as he's trying to disengage. But that is a huge double kill pickup for the side of Sweden. They do lose their Vala, but there's no level 1 Creed of the Hunter to lose stacks. 19 on that Puncturing Arrow. It is going to be your Encore. 4% cooldown on Heroic from ETC. Right now, we are rapidly rising in these skulls from the Risen Miners in map number 1 of this third best 3. Second objective phasing. And as I mentioned, the objectives have swapped, so blue to the top, red on the bottom. Hogger would have lived there if they were on Warhead Junction. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, Max Passion. Ardent Defender will be forced out. Divine Steed, the Ardent Defender ends, and a Lunar Flare, Righteous Hammer do zone. Remain rolling in with Inner Beast active. He went into Wizened Duelist 7. Unfettered Assault, level 13. So sometimes with that, we'll see the Alpha Killer. It could also just be Lord of his Pack as well. And then Tooth and Claw with this build has been very popular. It could be Blunderbuss 20, but I've been seeing a lot more Tooth and Claw, which I very much do like with this Worgen direction. So this is going to be another camp to be grabbed by the side of Sweden, or at least they're going to attempt it. Arcane Orb flying in, Lunar Flare, Starfall from the Tyrande. Hogger getting a bounce into this camp as well. Yrel staggered up against the wall. She gets a Righteous Hammer. Divine Shield and Greymane Murd, and Dwarf tossing in, interrupted by a face muff from ETC. Pushed around by the Encore. Avatar comes through as ETC goes down. Make is able to avoid the Arcane Orb, but the overall bigger Golem will go over the side of Team Sweden as they do have 52 stacks. As we take a look into the mines with the pause here, we'll go ahead and pull away the minimap for competitive integrity. And, excuse me, let's go ahead and take a look and see what some of our stackage looks like here, because we do have a tiny pause. We'll figure out what the issue is in just a moment. As it looks like, what do we have here? Oh, it looks like there was a lag from the main tank of Poland. We'll get them back into the game once the lag has subsided. So, Shuriken Mastery at 48 of 60 stacks, 25 stacks for the Vala, which is going to be 25 times 6, plus whatever scaling she has on the baseline Hungering Arrow hit. Wave of Light from Uther is done. He went into the well-met at level 13 as well. When used against against heroes, Hammer of Justice reduced the target movement speed and the damage dealt by 25% for 3 seconds. And he did go Pursuit of Vengeance level 4 as well, which is going to give him movement speed by 25% for 3 seconds after using the Hammer of Justice onto an enemy hero. This is going to be a Wizened Duelist, currently at 14 of the possible 30 stacks. Turbo!
Yes!
Congratulations with your 25 watch streak. HOTS 3.0 confirmed for 2025 streak wait. Waiting? Readies are being requested. Let's get back into it. And thank you for your patience, everyone, in the small little pause we had. Sappers will be cleared out in bottom, and this is going to be the call for the Underworld boss. So we're looking 52 to 48 overall. Wait a minute. They're going to jump through bottom lane. Oh, another Righteous Hammer from Yrel. I think they were chasing Yrel out of the mines. And looks like Hogger Leeming will finish this out. Yrel trying to steal away a few of these last skulls, but they won't be able to get any. Genji comes through the right side, swift strikes through the enemies. Gets a couple little dismount moments here. And Vision Tower to be grabbed on the right-hand side. So what's the game plan? Getting close to 16 for Team Sweden.
It is done.
Genji's almost done with his Shuriken Mastery as well. A staggering blow from Hogger, interrupting Avenging Wrath from Yrel. This camp over here is going to be started. Murden does have vision of it, trying to distract a little bit. If they contest this, I believe the Golem will guarantee the top lane forward. Vala working on bottom lane, Avenging Wrath in. Righteous Hammers into the Lunar Flare as well. 12th stack for the Tyrande. She has the 30% range increase. Ridzu needs to cancel the Hog Wild. The Righteous Hammer cleansed from Uther with the Hand of Protection. Arcane Orbs flying in. Vala in bottom lane is going to be getting the clear onto that Golem. And Team Sweden advancing towards the enemy keep front gate. Celestial Attunement for the Tyrande, big cleanse factor for her. Also the Templar's Verdict for that minus 15 armor, and believe it's 6% bonus damage equal to 6% of the maximum health of the target. There we go. Sorry, I was misphrasing that a little bit. So our top lane keep gate is taken down. Bottom lane fort is probably going to fall here. And that's the second structure up against the side of Team Poland to be lost. 59 stacks for Muradin, 59 stacks for the Genji, 26 on the Vala, 15 Lunar Blaze, 15 Wizened Duelist. Let's see, that is going to be your Alpha Killer for the Greymane, Headbanger for percentage damage on the Staggering Blow, Mirror Ball, Benediction, and your Dwarf Launch for the Muradin. As they look to maybe capture or catch someone, Stormbolt lands. There's that piercing value off the first target. Hungering Arrow somehow actually hit Muradin there. I thought I completely missed. The Righteous Hammer onto the Muradin in the rotation. Shuriken Mastery done for the Genji, so now when he uses his Cyber Agility, he can refund the 3 charges of Shuriken. Also a little damage increase in there as well. But we have a level lead. Less than 3 levels for the side of Sweden to get to the 20. A little bit more than 3 levels for the side of Team Poland to get to their 20s. Oh, there's a Staggering Blow to follow up the Stormbolt and stun. That's going to be a quick Genji kill. He'll respawn a little after the objective is to respawn for the third one. This is going to be your red golem to top, blue golem to bottom. Urel's going to be able to get the Avenging Wrath over the wall and disengage. Sapper Camper top lane will be grabbed, and that could open things up a little bit further for this incoming golem. As I said, the Genji. He's going to be about 17 seconds still. Sentinel from Tyrande to scout out the enemy who will invade this camp for a bit more experience and lane pressure. Avenging Wrath in from Urel to wave before some Li Ming. Curse Bullet. Ardent Defender comes out after a lot of that damage, but still, pressure applied to Max Bash. He does get the Avenging Wrath over the wall. The Shockwave misses. And Urel uses Ardent Defender, heals up to nearly full, then drop to exactly where she was beforehand. But Poland yearns for the Mine Skulls. We'll start seeing Ridzu working on left side, right side, Muradin kind of anchoring between all this. It's Greymane and... mostly Greymane is working on some of these encampments. As I said beforehand, 72 Risen Miner Skulls can be picked up through the smoke camps. 28 will always be on the Underworld boss. Alright, so they're going to jump out of the mine. Still about a level lead, by the way, between the two teams. 69 stacks for the Muradin. So what does Team Poland want to do here? Are they just going to grab camps and take the weaker golem? Giving... Oh, they're going for this. This is way too late of a call, though, I do believe. Stormbolt misses. 55 to 45. Flank from Hogger with the Staggering Blow. Shockwave available. I think this was a... I think they honestly misjudged the timing on the side of Team Poland. Unfortunate for them. Sappers in top lane did push in a little bit. We do have your bigger golem to bottom lane in favor of Team Sweden. Sentinel scouts out the Muradin. He's gonna try and dwarf launch out. He does get a hand of protection from the Uther. Avatar is gonna be forced. Another dwarf launch to the side. Sweden trying to take us into a map number 3, and we'll see if they're able to do it with this push. Stormbolt, Curse Bullet, Sko gonna get chunked a bit. Magic missiles continue to fire out. 20 is gonna be picked up during this siege. Vala currently working on top lane, by the way. Catapult and such coming through over here. Another Arcane Orb out. The Lunar Flare lands. There's going to be a Boss Slam ETC base melt with the Encore displacement and cooldown on the Heroic. The bottom lane golem has been cleared. The keep at about 50%. but it's now 20 talents here with the Acrobat, Celestial Wrath, a Ride the Lightning ETC living weapon, and your Seraphim Yrel. That would be really funny, Crush. First bullet into a Magic Missile Arcane Orb combo. Max Fashion chunked, but won't be taken down. The keep will fall as Hogger gets away, push up in top lane, trying to get to that 20 as well, but it's Team Sweden, which is the constant victory in team fights, golems, push, still having their forts available in top and bottom. Well, 31 stacks for the Vala, 19 Wisdom Duelist, 72 baseline for the Murden. Still needs another, like 88 or something. That math seems right. One Sapper charges. He'll be cleared out. The other two do make their way in afterwards. But off this wave here, it's going to be 20 from the side of Team Poland too. See if that changes things with probably Mountain King, I would assume. Repulsion, no control. Uther is going to go into Redemption, and you do have that Tooth and Claw. So Worgen base attacks clear for 100% damage, increase the razor swipe damage by 100%. Arcane Orb hits onto Azerite. He'll get a quick heal from the Tyrande. Fourth objective of the map. Blue to top, red to bottom. Let's see what is going to be achieved here, because this could be a game-winning push for Team Sweden to take us to the map number 3 and keep us going in this third of 4 best of 3s today. We're going to go north side, okay. Hogger's still pushing out the wave in top lane since there's the keep to be saved, but it's going to be that constant catapult pressure it's going to be such a nuisance to deal with, so I feel like it's either commit to the objective area or... Okay, yeah, he's committing. No control was that level 20, by the way, we mentioned. Going to be an ETC face melt pushing stuff around. The shockwave from the Hogger will land. Tyranda's the first one to be taken down. Hogger bouncing in, maybe looking for a no control activation. Greymane will be traded as Max Passion on the right side was harassing onto Li Ming. ETC face melt pushing people around as he power slides away, but there's going to be a Dwarf Toss in for Bird, and there will be a mosh pit coming through, but Li Ming blinks in afterwards and will take down the ETC. That's going to be a Max Passion death as the easy throw dynamite, or sorry, no, sorry, it's the Loot Horde is thrown in from the Hogger there for... Oh, I clicked on the wrong character. There we go. Yrel. 65 damage, 158 overkill.
Red team's core is under attack.
Bottom lane has some catapults that will need to be dealt with. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if there's just a Hearth. And yep, Hogger will deal with that. Shielding damage. I doubt we see permanent damage. Staggering Blow will create more space. There you go.
Golems rise again.
Imagine getting hit with a trash can and dying. Nice bonk.
Red team's core is under attack.
Alright, so Hogger managing bottom. He'll staggering blow the Siege Giant into core range. Does seem like Team Sweden are in position for the defense. I'm curious though if this golem is going to be defended by anything, or if Team Poland are going to hard push through bottom lane. It's a literal dumpster fire? Well, if you take garbage fire, yes. Bottom lane fort falls. At this rate, the keep will go down. It looks like they're just going to go for double fort play, which I don't blame them on. Like, I don't think this is a bad idea. Try and just get some weakening, as you're going to lose your keep. So at least you have periodic catapult pressure against the constant of the enemy. No way Greymane clears this in time. Yo, what's up, Tierless? How you doing? What's up, Forget What? How you doing today as well, bud? Muradin will eat the stun as they want to just defend their core from taking any percent base damage. Leeming hit with a Sentinel.
No matter. There are always more.
Yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. It's been a really fun day of casting so far. I really appreciate all the all of you coming through. Riptides, thank you for the follow as well. Appreciate you coming through the channel. I want to just check really quickly. Does he have Redemption? Looks like yes, it is off cooldown. Oopsie, sorry. I was looking at something else. There we go. Jarrell with the Avenging Rat to back away Bird and trying to chase in with the Dwarf Toss. Has that Mountain King for 2 charges of Thunderclap and the Dwarf Launch. Shockwave hits Tehran in the backline. ETC power sliding in. The Seraphim is there. Bronick is low. Li Ming will die. Moshpit on the left-hand side onto the Greymane. And I think with this kill, we're going to see Sweden take us into a map number 3. Unless Hogger can get the most insane multi-kill for his team right now, as he is bouncing around, but he gets taken down as well. Muradin looks to back away. Uther does not have Redemption. And ETC hit with a Storm Bolt.
Red team's core is under attack.
Muradin trying to defend. ETC with the power slide. Lunar Flare lands. Storm Bolt goes out. Shielding is dropped. Muradin jumps back into the Hall of Storms to heal back up to full. But this does look like it is the end, and GG, well played. Sweden will take map number 2. We're heading into a map 3. Nicely done. We'll see what's going to happen here between these two teams with a 1-1 score. Is there a reverse sweep from Sweden, or does Team Poland shut it down in map 3? You know, be really, 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 really funny is if map 3 is Towers of Doom, and we continue to only see 3 different maps today. So far, we have not seen a different map today. Like, in the sense of, like, the first best of 3 was 3 maps, and it's the same 3 maps we've been seeing for the remainder of the series. But really fun. Really good stuff. Yo, Freaky, thank you for the lurk. Appreciate it. Alright, if you have a Prime Gaming you'd like to use, if you would like to start a reoccurring Tier 1 sub, which helps us push for Partner Plus and helps us sustain casting and bring you all this fun stuff, fun content, please do consider it. If you'd like to gift subs to help us hit sub goal, it's much appreciated. Thanks for being here, thanks for hanging out, thanks for being awesome, and happy Saturday, everyone. Best MOBA out here, and we're getting another map in this third best of 3 of 4 series today. Alright, everybody, map number 3 in this best of 3 series. We have France versus Netherlands coming up next, but right now, as we enter into Battlefield of Eternity, the first battlefield of the day, we've got Sweden on the left-hand side. It's going to be Poland on the right. First pick going over the side of Poland is the losing team, opting in for that opportunity. And so this will be Sweden choosing to take us to that battlefield map. And as I said, we still have one more best of 3 coming up after this. It is going to be that France versus Netherlands. Going to be an interesting one, but let's see what we got here for this game. So Chen first ban, target ban against Max Passion. We do have a Chromie ban. She's been very heavily banned throughout today and this tournament in general. For Battlefield, I mean, Hanzo, if I'm not mistaken, is still up. You still have, looks like Orpheus is going to get target banned here. Rainer's up, which is a classic. Tracer's up. Lunara sees play on this map as well. So pretty decent draft directions. Vala's already been played, and so is Greymane. Li Ming as well. Genji, which are very common heroes on this map. Is this live or are you watching a replay? What? That's confusing as hell. Deathwing will be the ban on the left-hand side. Thrall is going to be your first pick for the side of Poland, which is not too surprising. I mean, he's been a very hot priority. What are they going for on the side of Sweden? What do they want to start with?
For the frozen throne!
Maev and Anub'arak. Dive heavy. Lot of control. It might just be like an all-in from Sweden. They might not prioritize race too heavily. And they might be prioritizing the team fight and then going for the race later on. I could absolutely see that as the game plan here. Thrall, Hanzo, Diablo, gonna need a healer on the right side. And possibly a solo lane, unless it is the Thrall, which we did see earlier. For those that don't know, there is no way to watch drafts ever. Like, outside of the live draft, there's no way to watch a rerun of a draft. If I was watching a rerun of a draft, there would be some other caster in the background and stuff with their logos and things. That's why it is confusing. Because you cannot watch reruns of drafts or replays of drafts. It's never been a thing for this game. Which would be nice, but, yeah, it's not. Now, Furion and Anduin will both be target banned in this. No Light Bomb, no Roots. Still have Ana up available, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure she is. Maybe Bob's got that secret tech.
Anytime you're ready.
Yeah, I got that secret tech that Blizzard only gave to me. Yep. They love me so much, they're like, Bahamut, we recognize you. We understand that you're the best North American caster for Heroes of the Storm that appreciates this game and works heavily and hard for it. We, of course, gave you the secret tool that no one else has. Got him. Because we love you so much, we're just really making you wait for that email from us. Any day now. Any day now that email's coming through, right? Or they're just gonna wait till like Tuesday and then come by the stream and, you know, ask me in chat. That, you know, that's the big way they're gonna do it. Deckard, Falstad, Diablo, Hanzo, and Thrall will be your pickup for the side of Poland. Good sustained damage, good control. I like the draft a lot from Team Poland. Last pick on the left side. They need the solo laner up against the Thrall. What do they want to go into? Dahaka. Okie dokie. Alrighty, so... I like the Poland draft way better. The Lucio is gonna be very interesting with high five and stuff like that. It could be a sound barrier game. We do see sound barrier here and there at this level of play, but let's get into it. App 3! Yeah, I like both drafts a lot. I'm actually kind of conflicted on it. I think there's really good dive and sustained damage and pressure, but I also think the same thing on the right side. I think we got both really good dive and control from both teams with Deckard's Shapes and Stale on Listen to Nubrak with his double CC ability with Burrow and Impale. You got Lucio Push-Off, Maev Rumble Bind, Drags, Penetrating Rounds. Gonna be an exciting one. Alrighty.
Prepare yourselves for battle, heroes.
Sweden on the left-hand side. Azerite, Maev, Burgolt, Lucio. We will see your Max Passion Dahaka, Skog, Anubrak, and Make Rainer.
A hero has left the battle.
Right side of the map is going to be Poland number 2 with Ridzu, Thrall. Birchu is your Diablo. Alvarez will be playing the Falstad. Bronick, Deckard, and Sesbos on the Hanzo.
The battle begins in
Ace in the hole for the Rainer. No Exterminator level 1 for him. Deal 12% more damage to stunned or slowed heroes. Enemy heroes hit by Give 'em some pepper are slowed by 10% for 2.5 seconds. You do have your Legion of Beetles, Pursuit of Vengeance, Accelerando for Lucio. Q build Falstead. Now, here's the big thing to mention. You get, obviously, 1 stack for hitting enemy heroes, the hammering, and it returns, and blah, 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 so you get a couple. So you get 6 mana per hero hit, but if you die, you lose 8 stacks. Now, if Falstead hits 30 stacks, he cannot drop below that mark. He'll get the 30% damage increase when he hits the stacks, not actively as he's doing it. So if he gets to 31 and then dies, he just drops down to 30. Once he hits 80 heroes, he gets an additional 50, so 80%. And then if he hits 150 total heroes, he hits the mythic level, which is 150% in total. Maelstrom weapon for the Thrall, which has been a less popular talent as of late. Big scroll of ceiling onto 2. Hammering goes out from Falstead for a small bundle of stackage. Sapphire for the Decker Cane, which when applied and afflicting enemy heroes increases the slow from 30 to 65% as the Sapphire's a 30% increase, baseline being 35. Simple Geometry Hanzo, Enhanced Agility to Haka, and I believe that covers our level 1s between these 2 teams. As a slight experience jump for the side of Team Sweden. I believe that was just a little bit of minions that weren't picked up in the top lane during that camp grab. This is Beertrude taking a lot of damage. There's going to be a soul shield activation from the Diablo. Defend and eyes from Maiev will not be enough. The potion comes out from Deckard. Diablo taps well and will step up for more potions in lane. As Azerite, Make are a bit low. Nubrak looking for an Impale harassment. Spirit of Vengeance, Upper Vine, Shadow Charge, Hanzo, Natural Agility over the wall, and that's going to be First Blood picked up by the side of Team Poland. As Falstead already sits at 16 stacks. They're all in top lane trying to get some Maelstrom weapon value, stepping up into the face of Max Passion. Possible drag going in there. The Impalers will get some soft siege on the top lane as Dark Swarm, and a grumble of a minuscule amount of essence will be activated by Max Passion. Back in the bottom lane, look at a Nubrak. He's trying to set up some sort of flank, waiting for that Sonic Arrow to dissipate. Impale goes out onto Diablo. Purge. Nope, that was the Lightning Rod. Same little animation right there, but there's no Rhaegar in this game. As another Falstead hammering up to 23 stacks at 2 minute 15. Dahaka's going to have to hearth out for full. We do have Behemoth armor for your Rainer, by the way. So he passively will get the 200 bonus health, and every stack is an additional 8. Which, for those that don't know, when we do check this later, the bonus health is automatically added in. If we want to check it a little bit later, you know, if he's got like 40-something stacks, we want to see what his total increased health is. Hey, Deckard going for my personal favorite. Ruby at level 4. Lightning Rod applied, Scroll of Ceiling, Shadow Charge from Diablo. Bed of Barbs level 4 was the pickup from your Nubrak as this Fallen Shaman is pushing into bottom lane. Fallen Shaman on top lane coming through. Spirit of Vengeance from Maiev. Not going to teleport. Actually, does have that sudden vengeance, 6%. Lands on the Beertrude, who will be able to get the Shadow Charge to the side. And a penetrating round, pokes on to Diablos. He will get a potion and hearth out for full. And a little spin stomp. When all else fails, bet against Thrall. Oh, that's. I thought it was when else fails, bet against Cassie. Raynor getting some autos in here onto the Immortal. It is the first one of the map. And Impale goes out, the drag as well, holding Ritsu into the Savage Spin of the Immortal. The Emperor Bind pulls this Thrall back in. He just can't catch a break as he looks to get to the potion on the right side. There's 2 right next to each other. Unfortunately, he was just unable to get there. Falstad with 35 stacks. Deckard stepping in for those Ruby potions. Pharaoh Spirit from Thrall reset as he did miss the stack onto an enemy hero. And Maiev is going to go help Raynor with this first half of the Immortal. Meanwhile, there's a lot of damage on the Max Passion. An Impale from a Nubrak into the Immortal stun as well. Simple Geometry at 6 stacks, but this is the first half of the Immortal race down in favor of Sweden. Unbettable, wow. I thought that's just one of those moments where you roll a d20 and you say, you know, evens for one team, odds for the other. Dahaka brush talking into the top location. Center of this map. And the Immortals, very close on race, are going to be going over the side of Poland too, by the way. I can't believe it. I actually mentally was like, oh, this is obviously won by Sweden. No, not the case whatsoever. Q-Build Falstad continues with his Boomerang level 7. Deckard, what are we looking at here, bud? I could see, like, Kanai's Cube for the damage debuff, and it absolutely is going to be Kanai's Cube, 30% damage debuff for 4 seconds. Wow, it's like I know this game so well. push off from Lucio with the reverse amp level 7 active. Rainer's going to be going into the heavy slugs at level 7 for the increased penetrating round slow by 15% and duration by 2, which is going to have some ace in the hole value.
The demon's attack has failed. Yet we have not
Yeah, me too, Crush. I legit, like... I'm pleasantly surprised by the contest on this map. 30 more stacks for the false step, by the way, sitting at 50. This Q build is blowing up. 2 stacks on the Feral Spirit. Frost will pack for your Thrall. 9 on his Maelstrom weapon. Excuse me. Still getting another 16 for that first milestone for the 40%, or sorry, the 40% movement speed while Wind Fury is active and the 40 additional basic attack damage. Next Immortal in the east-west position is going to be on the defensive sides as well. Scroll a ceiling with that Ruby. So much floor juice down on the ground. Diablo being pulled around. He's going to get hit with the Umbral Bind. He's going to try and step into some of those Ruby values and will be able to get healed up a bit, but kind of returning to the original health that he was at after disengaging completely. Hammering again, poking out. Look, as I said before, it would cost Blizzard, like, at most, like, $8,000 to get me out there, hire me, pay me, feed me, all that. I am a penny in the water compared to some of the other stuff. Well, the big thing to mention for the Falstead, by the way, is going to be 10 more stacks needed for that next milestone. Diablo is 1 stack away from getting his Soul Stone completed for his respawn. Hyperion, Rainer, Containment Disc, High Five, Isolation, and Cocoon. Pretty expected stuff. I was thinking maybe we get Rainer's Raiders. Duskwing level 20 is really good, but just going to go Hyperion here for Yamato Cannon firing and strafe shot shooting. Dragon's Arrow, Stay While and Listen, Gust, Sundering, and Diablo. Probably Lightning Breath? Yeah, there it is. Deckard caught inside the Cocoon. He'll be broken out. Dahaka did brush talk in, lands the drag onto the Lord of Terror. Sundering from Thrall, Stay While and Listen. Hyperion has been utilized as well. A lot of, I wouldn't say panicked, but a lot of reactionary, heroic use right there. I don't blame them, though. That's going to be Azrael coming with the Spirit of Vengeance. Upper Bind lands onto Ridzu, who's going to be dragged by the Dahaka, but the Dahaka, is going to be pushed aside by the Savage Spin of the Immortal. And Hanzo's Symbol Geometry at 8 minutes is done. Dragon's Arrow goes out, lands onto 2. There's going to be a Diablo Shadow Charge. The Wind Fury was activated, but he gets interrupted with the small stun. Max Passion smacked up and taken down by Deckard Cain, the old man, the real assassin, let's be honest. Hammering into the bush, catches Azurite. 77 stacks for Falstad at 8 minutes. That is really good stackage here. Nubrak burrowing in. I don't think he had the Impale hit. The burrow charge hit, he does land the Impale. There's going to be an Umbral Bind onto Deckard as well as the drag, I think, onto that Thrall. Lightning Breath from Diablo's activated. Azurite gets the Spirit of Vengeance. Good gust from Falstad. Cocoon onto Diablo. For Roger, keep going out with the Sapphire for the slow. Another hammering out from Falstad. There's going to be more potions, but the Lord of Terror will be taking down the Sundering coming out late from our Chieftain Thrall as Falstad is over 80 stacks. Stay a while. And Scroll a ceiling. Listen, Azurite very low. Skog as well, but that's Deckard Cain returned to the retirement home. Thrall's going to grab some of these potions. There's going to be a Hearthing, a Nubrak in the bush that won't be discovered. 3 Frostwolf pack stacks for the Thralls. He looks for an angle on the Max Passion, but the race is going to break out here. And who's going to be able to get this in time? Falstad autos are coming through, but it's going to be an Immortal over to the side of Team Sweden, which will head into the well-defended lane up top. Bottom lane is no Fort Gate. Top lane does still have it, so this is going to be Rain already starting to push things up. Hyperion ready to go. And Thrall on 10 stacks on Maelstrom Weapon. And I think this is a good example of why we've been seeing Maelstrom Weapon fall out of favor. At this level of play, just the Thralls are really not stacking a lot. It's 10 stacks at almost, it's a stack a minute for Maelstrom Weapon. And if memory serves correct, while it's active, you average 3. Hyperion from Raynor expires. Yamato Cannon getting a shot on defensive backline tower. Flank Gust from Falstad. Lightning Breath from Diablo. The hammering is big onto Burgle, but won't take down the Lucio. Containment Disc onto Deckard. Cocoon onto Hanzo. Rips the Dragon's Arrow afterwards, and this is going to be the top lane fort falling to Alarian. Feral Spirit. Frostwell Pack is done. The isolation from Max Passion missing. Decker Kane Scroll Ceiling goes out. Dahaka burrows to avoid it. The scatter will be able to finish out the Immortal, and our next one going to be coming up around 12-minute in-game time. Alright, Dahaka Feeding Frenzy, still at 1.25 second cooldown per auto, 22 Behemoth Armor for the Raynor, if you're curious about the stackage. It is going to be looking at 370 total extra health, and he's topped off at 2,792. Comparable Assassin on the other side, 2,187 for your Falstad, and 2,203 for the Hanzo. So you can kind of see how much it's buffing it up by, obviously we said 700, but it's about a 500 or so more HP from Ake compared to the enemy Assassins. Not too bad. Dahaka in the corridor above, Falstad playing top lane safe, 96 stacks for him. Of the 150, 11 Maelstrom Weapon, 4 Enhanced Agility for the Dahaka, 2 Feeding Frenzy was mentioned, no Subwoofer for the Lucio completed at level 4. He used to hit that triple hit onto the enemies. Containment Disc Thrall, Cocoon onto Diablo. We're kind of seeing the play from Sweden in the strap. Stay a while captures nobody, as that is going to be your Nubrak able to burrow out in time. A Firestorm from Diablo to get some vision. Falstad flying into bottom, did have the Gust available for maybe a flank Gust again, but it's not going to be utilized. As he reaches 99 of the 150 stacks. The third Immortal phase is going to be coming up, and it's on the race potential sides. Top lane Impaler will need to be dealt with by the Thrall, as this 16 talent is still a couple levels away for both teams, and it's, let's call it about a half a level, maybe 3/4 of a level difference between the two. However you want to do that math. Alright, Immortals on the east-west, but the race setup is already here. Raynor getting some autos in. Let's see who comes out on top of this. Ancient Blessings from Deckard will be activated, and the race on the right and left is so very close. What is it going to total out to be? Actually, it's like a 2,000, 2,300-ish difference. It's going to be Diablo Drag. Does he have full souls? He's at 97. Gets a Fire Stomp out. Soul to Flame level 4. Could pick up some more. The Dragon's Arrow lands. Diablo Shadow Charge in. It's going to be a high five from Lucio. Thrall so very low, taken down by the penetrating round of Raynor. And now Skog is not going to be picked off. We do have the Cocoon onto Hanzo, and this race is looking good. Sweden grabs the third Immortal. They'll need to send someone to top lane for the Fallen Shaman dealings. It looks like the Haka will start meandering his way up there, and this is a fairly healthy shielded Alarian to bottom lane. Let's take a look at his stats and see what Alarian brings to the table damage-wise. Baseline health is going to be 21,450. I'm going to say there's probably about half of that as shields. 774 damage into basic attack damage, and then 1,548 damage into structures, as we're looking about a 10k shield. But it's 16 talents here during this time. A scatter initially breaking through some of that shielding. Still a lot more to go through. Feral Spirit thrown out. We do have, it looks like Maiev is getting some pokes onto this Diablo, denying any flank setup from her. But during this time, Fort will fall. A Nubrak burrowing in deep. The Containment Disc misses as well. And 42 stacks for your Falstad needed for that Mythic. Make it 41. Keep Gate is being opened up of bottom lane, but is there going to be enough to take them all down? Make and friends will not really fall here. There's a Shadow Charge, the Sundering off the Thrall as well. The Hyperion will get some Yamato cannon shots. Beatrice steps up for a bit of healing off of those Ruby Potions. And one more Tomato Cannon fires out. Hyperion gets the keep down to about 75%. But it is a level lead. Talent tier advantage with the 16. We do have that line them up and paint them red. Nubrak with his epic enter. Maiev is going to be going into her bladed armor, right? Or armored assault, sorry. So while Maiev has positive armor of any kind, all physical damage dealt is increased by 25%. And also Shadow Armor, level 13, nice synergy. Blink grants 20 armor for 3.5 seconds. Maiev base attacks against heroes refresh the duration. All right. I didn't look at when the last Immortal went down, but it's got to be like a minute from announcement or so. One level difference, though. Still 2 kills. Dahaka in the bush of top lane. Deckard and Diablo kind of chilling around the gate of mid area. Impale from a Nubarex. Bed of Barbs does scout out the Diablo. Locust coming through as well. The wave to be cleared out. You do have your Ares Gust and Flow Rider. 1316 for the false set for cooldown reduction and faster activation of Tailwind. Well, faster cooldown reduction on his basic abilities when Tailwind is active. Also, you have the more passive movement speed with the Ares Gust from 15 to 25%, and the Tailwind triggers earlier. The cooldown ratio, by the way, is 100% if you're wondering for Tailwind when active. Scatter from Hanzo. Sonic Arrow was used, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Yep, it just expired. Diablo, Shadow Charge onto the Dahaka. Is able to burrow. Does have his Tunneling Claws 16 for more movement speed in that burrowed form, and both teams sitting around their objective, or defending at least. Actually, meanwhile, there is this bruiser camp for the left-hand side. Sonic Arrow again to scout out the enemies around their Immortal. Not going to be there. Both teams grabbing Fallen Shaman for respective lanes, and now they're going to set up in defensive postures. More potions setting up around this north side Immortal in case they need to retreat to defend or even set up. Or even just need to, like, be around and passively defend. There we go. Just rethinking my own phrasing there. Hammering to check the bush from the Falstead. This is a Nubarak. A couple beetles. Impale goes out. Hyperion from Raynor has been summoned in the bottom lane to get some more damage onto the keep. Yamato Cannon currently dealing 1,600 damage into structures. Strafe does have some hits here and there, but the Yamato Cannon is going to be the big one as we have Maev racing. Not the fastest racer in the game, as Raynor does step up. Spire is active, and he's going to get a few autos in. No one saw that Make. So as we take a look over here, there's going to be another race starting out. I don't think, Poland didn't seem too committed to it. I think they're going to try and take the fight before the enemy hits 20. And where do the Immortals go? Into defensive sides. Ritsu's going for this. They're going to start racing this down. Umbral Bind will pull Beer to the side. The Fan of Knives. Diablo does have full souls. He's going to use the Shadow Charge to avoid the Immortal stun. Gets another Fire Stomp out as well. 11 stacks on that Maelstrom weapon, by the way, for the Thralls. The Lightning Breath comes through. Tons of damage onto Diablo. He'll be taken down. Souls expended. Containment disc onto the Thrall just after his Sundering activates the Stay While and Listen on a 10-second cooldown as Nubrek does find his Burrow Charge in. Falstead will fall. Dahaka brush talking in aggressively. Will back away into the bottom lane wave. Gonna get some of that experience in lane, and tap bush and try and zoom away. Isolation goes on to the Falstad. 121 stacks of the 150 for that Mythic. Dahaka burrows. Lurker Strain level 4. Try and bonk back the enemy. Meanwhile, Maev and Raynor racing. Looks like it is gonna be Team Sweden backing off for defense around their Immortal defense around their Immortal. As Team Poland does step up, Hyperion will be used to zone. Vigorous Vulture automatically picked up 20 talents here. Hanzo natural agility over the wall. Thrall does not get pulled back by the Umbral Bind. He's going to run into a potion. Stay while listen. Interrupted by the containment disc, which does have a 1.5 second or 1.25 second silence afterwards. Falstead falls as well. Drop down to 115 stacks. And this Immortal will go over to the side of Team Sweden. Moving into top lane, and Team Sweden. How much damage on the keep gate? Not a lot. Nubrek does the Beatles. Cocoon onto Hanzo over this keep. Diablo's going to try and break out Hanzo a little bit faster. Isolation misses, but the drag doesn't. Lucio, Soundwave. Subwoofer still incomplete, but Diablo is going to die back, and that is everyone's favorite Northern European country. Is going to be picked up here as Sweden will be getting the reverse sweep. The sweep, the GGs are already called, and this is wonderfully played by the Swedish boys. They will get the reverse sweep up against Team Poland number 2, and ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get ready for our final series of the day. Up next is going to be France versus Netherlands, but a nice turnaround from Sweden. A really dominant game from Poland number 2 in map 1, and just the turnaround in haunted mines and control and domination, I'd say, in this battlefield map. Freaky, same, bud. I had the exact same thought as well, Freaky. What's up, Vic? Good to see you. Happy Saturday, my friend. Pay out the gamble in a second here. Try and get into our lobby and all that good stuff. We are, I believe that math, I don't know if I'm seeing this right. I think it's still 14 subs away from our goal.
I will follow you to the end of the world. Subscribed.
Hots is life.
Yo, Yanthor, thank you for the tier 1 for 40 months. I appreciate that greatly. Yeah, 14 subs, I believe, away from our goal if you'd like to help us with that. But let's go ahead and get rid of some ads and get ready for the final best of 3 of the day. Do you have the bracket up? Always.